Imagine just for a moment that the most powerful tool for a meaningful, fulfilled life isn't something you can buy, earn, or be given by others. It's already within you, waiting to be discovered and harnessed. This isn't just a thought experiment, it's a reality grounded in the wisdom of Stoicism, a philosophy that has guided countless individuals through the ages toward living with purpose, resilience, and tranquility. Stoicism teaches us that the key to a life well lived isn't found in external accolades or material success, but in mastering the art of valuing ourselves through the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. It's a powerful reminder that despite the chaos and challenges of the external world, we should not accept less than we deserve. It's something we've all been guilty of at one point or another, right? Whether it's sticking around in a job that drains the life out of us, staying in relationships that don't uplift us, or not chasing after the dreams we hold dear because we're scared, we settle. We compromise, we tell ourselves this is as good as it gets. But why do we do that? Is it fear? Is it comfort? Or maybe it's a bit of both. Stoicism teaches us that our true worth, our essence, isn't swayed by these external circumstances. Whether you're in a palace or a prison, Stoicism tells us that what truly defines us isn't minimizing our achievements. Why? Because acknowledging our achievements is not about feeding our pride, it's about recognizing the work, the discipline, the perseverance it took to get there. It's about honoring our commitment to our goals and our adherence to our values. Let's break it down a bit. In Stoicism, virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance are central. When you achieve something, no matter how big or small, it's often because you've exercised these virtues. Maybe it took courage to apply for that job, wisdom to navigate the challenges along the way, or discipline, a form of temperance, to organize that closet. When you attribute your success to luck, it leads to prioritizing others' needs over your own. This results in resentment and a loss of self. It's like trying to fill cups from an empty pitcher, eventually, you run out. Stoicism isn't about being detached or selfish. In fact, it places great emphasis on virtue and the betterment of society. However, it also teaches us the critical importance of self-care. Why? Because caring for oneself isn't selfish, it's the foundation of being able to care for others effectively. Stoicism reminds us that to be of service to others, we must first ensure that we are in a good place ourselves physically. This means recognizing and acknowledging our strengths just as openly as we acknowledge our areas for improvement. It's about understanding our value, not in an egotistical way, but in a balanced and fair manner. Why do we struggle with accepting compliments? Often, it's because we're viewing ourselves through a distorted lens. We might be focusing too much on our imperfections, or perhaps we're conditioned to believe that acknowledging our strengths somehow makes us arrogant. But here's a Stoic perspective to consider: humility is not about denying our strengths. It's about recognizing them in a grounded manner. Stoicism teaches us that the essence of wise decision-making lies not in guaranteeing outcomes, but in basing our choices on wisdom and reason. While we cannot control the outcome of our decisions, we have complete control over the process of making those decisions. It's about aligning our choices with our values, acting with integrity, and accepting the outcomes, whatever they may be, as part of the natural flow of life. Why do we fear making decisions? Often, it's because we're afraid of making the wrong choice, leading to outcomes we perceive as failures or mistakes. However, Stoicism invites us to reframe our perspective towards becoming better versions of ourselves. Why do we fall into this trap of excessive self-criticism? Often, it's because we're measuring ourselves against impossible standards, ones that we wouldn't dream of holding anyone else to. We forget that being human inherently means being flawed and making mistakes. Stoicism offers principles to combat the comparison trap. First, by practicing mindfulness and catching ourselves when we start comparing our behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. It's about reminding ourselves that social media is a curated gallery, not an accurate reflection of everyday life. Second, Stoicism teaches us the value of focusing on what's within our control, our efforts, our attitudes, our virtues. These are the seeds from which our unique journey grows. How then can we start to make that investment in ourselves in line with Stoic philosophy? It begins with shifting our mindset. We need to start seeing self-improvement as an essential, non-negotiable aspect of our lives. This doesn't mean overhauling our lives overnight. Instead, it's about making small, consistent investments in ourselves. The first step is self-awareness. By becoming mindful of our tendencies to seek approval, we can start to question the motives behind our actions. Are we pursuing a goal because it aligns with our values, or because we're seeking applause? Stoicism teaches us to engage in regular self-reflection to examine our intentions over our choices and attitudes. It urges us to question the belief that we are trapped and to realize that more often than not, we have the agency to change our circumstances or our perception of them. Stoicism offers us tools to navigate and transform our environments. One key Stoic practice is the cultivation of inner resilience and autonomy. This doesn't mean adopting a stance of indifference or detachment, rather, it's about strengthening our inner citadel and accepting that we can endure. We often find that our fears are less daunting than we imagined. This doesn't mean we become reckless or heedless of risks, but rather that we approach our dreams with a balanced perspective, recognizing that failure, while possible, is not the end but a step in our journey of growth. Another Stoic principle that can embolden us to chase our dreams is the concept of amor fati, or love of fate. This means embracing whatever happens and recognizing that external success and recognition don't matter, but rather that they are not the source of our worth. Our worth is innate, as immutable as the stars in the night sky, and recognizing this frees us from the relentless pursuit of external validation and the practice of reason. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what is within our control, our thoughts, actions, and reactions, and to let go of what isn't. This perspective empowers us to take charge of our happiness, to create it through our daily choices and attitudes. How can we embrace this Stoic approach to happiness? It starts with changing our narrative.